Like the video and subscribe to our channel right now and get 1 week of amazing luck. The most popular places to host family and friends are parks and beaches when the summer break is approaching. However, some of these visits might be fatal. You might need to take a break from watching this video if you've already compiled a list of water slides you plan to visit this summer. These 10 slides are against the law and shouldn't be in your presence. Number 12. Cannonball Loop Action Park, New Jersey. According to our urban myth, a dummy doll that park owners dispatched to test ride the Cannonball Loop came back without a head. Shouldn't this be enough to frighten off the typical person? Instead, Gene Mobile offered to give his staff $100 if they helped him test out his new vehicle. He made the decision to let people inside despite bruises and running nose being visible. According to rumors, a visitor once became caught at the top of the loop, prompting the park to construct a hatch to help with future rescues. Numerous injuries were documented up until it got out of control a month after it debuted. When the advisory board learned about the unsafe funfair rides, they ordered the establishment to be closed. The son of Gene claimed that although his father wasn't permitted to finish what he had begun, he was still proud of him. It was the sign that said anything goes, not the fun that comes along for the journey, that made it difficult. Since having fun was more important than maintaining calm before or after the ride, most of the victims, according to doctors who handled the majority of patients, were drunk. Number 11. AQUASPHERE, Peninsula Aquatic Recreation Center. This waterslide has a lengthy, looping back, and ever since it was built, many issues have been attributed to it. The majority of which resulted in people suffering significant injuries. After 2 boys were hurt while utilizing the aquatic spear slide, it was shut down. Since the deception, the slide and constrictor slide owned by Frankton Council have been temporarily closed. The causes are not too dissimilar from what you already know. Due to stress cracks in the framework and a ruptured pipe, the constrictor slide had to be shut twice. 2 other adults, in addition to the 2 boys who were injured by AQUASPHERE, also suffered head injuries after striking their heads within the tunnel. Another woman survived the ride with significant back pain immediately after it was shut down and restarted. Riders go at high speeds down an enclosed snake flume before being injected into a 5-meter sphere where they turn 90 degrees and ride around. Number 10. Drainage ditch. It's possible that this waterslide isn't entirely legal, but I don't think you should go to the location because it's risky. In British Columbia, the drainage ditch extends all the way to Lion Bay. Some visitors think it would be the ideal location for a waterslide, but it's not your typical slide. Most people slide without touching the land by using a kayak or other similar device, which allows them to achieve speeds of at least 56 kilometers per hour before striking the water. It seems like a lot of fun until you actually do it. This amazing experience is just for true daredevils since it is uncontrollable like a missile. Number 9. Shoot the Rapids. Riders on this park. You can ride a raft with up to 10 people and slide down a huge slide. One of the worst water slide accidents in history is attributed to this location. In one comparable instance, the raft malfunctioned when the rider was at the top of the hill. The rider was propelled violently back down the slope before it flipped upside down. It indicated that 10 people were in difficulty since they were both submerged and fastened to their chairs with no way out. They suffered injuries of varying severity, forcing the ride to be shut down for the remainder of the year. The ride takes riders through an illegal moonshine operation and is centered on a journey through a western landscape. The dark tunnel, rock canyons, and geysers are further problems with this slide. Visitors boarded a fiberglass boat with 10 seats that travel through the attraction along a water canal. The Slime is Cedar Point's most expensive water coaster, costing over $10.5 million to build. Number 8. Black Hole at Wet n Wild. After suffering an injury, one man underwent surgery to have metal plates inserted into his back and neck. Numerous lawsuits have been filed in relation to this slide. One of the most dreaded natural occurrences in the cosmos is the black hole. It is so strong that nothing can ever escape from it. If you had bad luck and been tugged down to incomprehensible depths, the only place you might have seen someone again was at the fourth end of the tunnel. You experienced the sensation of plunging through a black hole as a result. You can climb aboard a two-person raft and be ready to plunge into total darkness. You won't be able to tell where you are going or where you've been because the walls are blacked out. As you rapidly descend deeper into oblivion, you should prepare for stars that flicker. The dual paths appear to be the most terrifying water ride you'll ever witness, standing at an incredible 80 feet tall. Number 7. TWEED'S CARRIE Hall Dam. After watching video footage of young kids surfing down the 110-meter concrete ship while riding bodyboards, Tweed Shire Council threatened to stop allowing access to the TWEED'S CARRIE hold down. The harsh warning was issued by the authorities after the 2016 footage was published on social media. The manager of the council argued that because there is a sizable flip bucket at the end, fun seekers have a better probability of drought. It becomes too risky since, in the event of a strong flow, one could be trapped underwater. More recordings were posted online even as experts continued to warn against the site. The demand for the authorities to put a halt to all the wild acts at the waterslide has grown since a 2013 video. The worst aspect of making these recordings public is how much attention they receive and how many more people they draw to the area. According to additional information from the authorities, anyone planning to use the unlawful waterslide must first request permission from the authorities. This dam has a catchment area of 60 kilometers and a storage capacity of 15,000 milliliters. The spillway is not accessible to the public, but the dam is. Number 6. Calypso Water Park, Canada. In 2015, 20 charges were levied against this recreational location because of some security concerns. 6 of them led to the park being found guilty, and these lawsuits were brought about by the steamboat slide. I'll explain how. Even after several riders were hurt during a series of 2 flips, the Calypso purposefully didn't record these incidents or shut down the steamboat slide. The court also discovered that despite a serious accident occurring on July 28, 2011, the park refused to shut down the steamer slide. Sophie, a journalist at the time, fractured 2 vertebrae and spent 4 months wearing a halo vest. Another rider reported that he fell frequently and shattered his collarbone. The court discovered evidence to support the need to close the park because it was a critical danger to visitors. Number 5. INSANO Waterslide, Brazil. One of the tallest waterslides in the world, you could say. It stands a magnificent 41 meters tall, which is equivalent to a 14-story structure in height. Consequently, it is not surprising that it was bound to result in severe injuries. Riders descend at a steep angle where their bodies don't contact the slide while traveling at speeds of above 65 miles per hour. Most of the time, it seems as though you are floating in space. Although riders travel for 41 meters, the plunge is so deep. The INSANO waterslide is billed as the world's most intense equipment, despite the fact that the ride lasts only approximately 5 seconds. Daredevils from all over the world come to this slide. Travel is only possible in one position to ensure the safety of the riders and Sano. With your arms and legs crossed, you are lying on your back. This location offers fantastic views of the Atlantic Ocean from the summit for those who can handle the drop. Number 4. The Verrucht Waterslide. The Verrucht Waterslide, which is 17 floors tall, is the tallest in the entire globe. In 2016, a decapitated 10-year-old youngster was flung far from the raft. This was only one of numerous occurrences that resulted in the slide being closed. The teen was reportedly 34 kilograms and was permitted to sit in the front of the raft as opposed to between the 2 women who were with him. The disruption that led to the deadly collision was brought on by the unbalanced weight distribution. The carelessness of the park owners affected more people than just one adolescent. Investigations showed that hitting the netting above the Verrucht's slide had caused non-fatal injuries in at least 13 people. The park managers were detained as a result of the criminal accusations, but they were later released. Each of the 2-3-person rafts that could fit on the ride was intended to weigh 45 kilograms. To get to the top, riders had to ascend 264 steps. The ride's beginning point is 168 feet tall, which is greater than the height of the well-known Niagara Falls. Number 3. SAHARA Sidewinders, Sandusky, Ohio. Visitors to the Kalahari Resort frequently complain about the SAHARA Sidewinders waterslide, which ultimately forced the facility to close. The resort debuted the Sidewinders, also referred to as the looping waterslides, in 2011. The 250-foot-long, 60-foot-high looping slides were anticipated to be one of the park's most well-liked attractions. The SAHARA Sidewinder, reported to have around 500,000 users annually, certainly rose to fame, but not for the proper reasons. A family filed a lawsuit against the Kalahari Resort in 2012, 1 year after it had first opened, claiming their teenage boy had been hurt on a slide. A guest gets dumped into one of 2 looping slides as part of the ride. The abrupt plunge resulted in serious pain and damage. The family requested compensation for their difficulties after having to pay for pricey medical treatment and upkeep. And although the resort was aware of the potential harm and injuries this looping slide may create, the attorneys claimed that the park made no reasonable changes or safety safeguards in the wake of the catastrophic injuries. In 2017, the slide was eventually closed. Number 2. Extreme Phaser. The Galaxy Water Park, located in Eddard, Germany, is well known for its Extreme Phaser slide, a 220-foot-long thrill. It has a distinctive design and eye-catching shape. Even though this extreme slide might reach speeds of 45 miles per hour, it is not for these reasons that this particular waterslide has garnered international attention. For women, the Extreme Phaser is actually prohibited. Yes, you heard correctly. Since 2012, only men have been permitted to ride the thrilling waterslide at the Galaxy Water Park. But why precisely was this unusual and specific restriction put in place? After numerous injuries were recorded in 2012, the waterslide eventually prohibited female riders. Women riders sustained such terrible injuries at the Galaxy Water Park that they would subsequently need care and medical attention. The peculiarity of female anatomy was the cause of such different damage. Female riders would suffer vaginal injuries, necessitating quick medical attention after their waterslide adventure. Number 1. Kilimanjaro, Brazil. Although this record-breaking waterslide is not officially prohibited, it demands the right amount of attention due to how shocking and amazing it is. At 164 feet tall and 40 feet higher than the Christ the Redeemer statue, the Kilimanjaro waterslide is now the highest and fastest waterslide in the world. With its amazing speed of 57 miles per hour, the Kilimanjaro in Rhodesia, Brazil, is without a doubt the world's most extreme waterslide. It is one of the fastest-moving waterslides in history. However, the ascent required to reach the top of the waterslide, where riders can then slide down with a sense of accomplishment, is important as well.